Hey, it's your girl Be Real, and I thank you so much for joining me for another moment. In the meantime, I hope that your day has gotten off to an amazing start. And if you're listening to this later on in the evening, I hope everything has gone very well for you today. Listen, so I was just thinking about one of my favorite movies, and it's Fences. Now, I don't really know how y'all feel about Fences, but I absolutely love Fences. Whenever I want to watch it, no one wants to watch it with me. So I'm thinking that this could just be a personal favorite of mine. But in the movie, Denzel, he portrays like this father who is really, just guarded and stuck in his own rejection and pain from his past. And he pretty much just puts that on the way he parents, the way he, just the way he impacts his family at a whole. But one thing he tells his son is that you got to take the crookeds with the straights. And so that quote always sticks out to me, just like, you got to take the crookeds with the straights, the crookeds with the straights. And, nobody really wants to hear that, but it's just like, but that's what it is. Like, you got to take the crookeds with the straights. Every day is not going to be great, but if you want to have those bomb days, you got to understand that like crappy days might come along with it as well. And so I was just thinking about that quote and just kind of like, felt like God was trying to tell me something, with it, because I'm just like, it's pretty random that I would be thinking about that. And God led me to two scriptures actually. 2 Timothy chapter 2 and verse 12, it says, if we are joined with him in his sufferings, then we will reign together with him in his triumph. But if we disregard him, then he will also disregard us. And then 1 Peter 5 and 10 and 11 says, and then after your brief suffering, the God of all loving grace, who has called you to share in his eternal glory in Christ, will personally and powerfully restore you and make you stronger than ever. Yes, he will set you firmly in place and build you up. And he has all the power needed to do this forever. Amen. And so I was just reading those two scriptures and I was just like, well, yeah, because it's talking about suffering and then it's talking about reigning. Like, okay, you got to take the crookeds with the straights. Like, I understand it. That's what's up. But then, even as I was just digesting that word, I was thinking like, like I know how to suffer, man. I know how to take bad news. I know how to, like, yeah, I got it, God. Yeah. Like, I'm willing to suffer with your boy, I got it. And then God so lovingly corrected me, and he said, it's not the suffering that I'm trying to help you with. You know how to suffer. I need you to know how to reign with me. And I was like, skirt? I said, what? And he said, oh yeah. You good with the crookeds, but it's the straights you can't handle. And I was like, whoa, wait a minute, what? And so just began to be exposed really, about like how winning is scary for me. Being in a place of like, oh, life is good. That's a scary thought for me because something's always going on, So it's just like, who am I to think that everything is good for once? Like, I don't know, something got to be up with that. And God was like, yeah, see, if you suffer with me, don't forget that I said you will reign with me. And once you begin to reign with me, you don't have to be concerned about what suffering lies ahead or if there's any suffering that lies ahead for you. Just reign, sis. If it's just rain, like if it's raining season, reign with your boy. You know what I'm saying? And it says after your brief suffering, that means that there is something after this. Like, whoa. So you're telling me that there's something really after the suffering. And God was just telling me, like, you get so comfortable with the uncertainty. You get so comfortable with the unknown. You get so comfortable. You just get comfortable with things not being so okay. And I saw a meme yesterday, and y'all know I don't really go in on a lot of relationship memes because I often feel that they are laced in fear, doubt, uncertainty, and insecurities. So a lot of times I don't really entertain relationship memes that I see. But there was one yesterday that really stuck out to me, and I can't quote it directly. I guess I should have written it down, but I read it and it stuck with me, and it said that the most difficult relationship is often the one after a toxic one. And I said, well, if you ain't never told the truth, meme land, here is the truth. And that's when it just became abundantly clear to me, like, you got to take the crookeds with the straights. And God just kept talking to me. He was just like, oh, you know how to be super single. You know how to do that. But you're uncomfortable when somebody want to know you. You're uncomfortable when somebody's actually interested. You're uncomfortable with the fact that I may really do what I told you I was going to do. Makes you nervous, because now it's like, God, you really, like, man, for real, God? And I just had to take that in. Like, you know what? For so long, like, just growing up, heard this phrase, like, when everything is going good, that's when you need to pray the hardest, because the devil is out lurking. And I guess it got some truth to it, you know? I always grew up believing that it had truth to it. But it's just like, I feel like, for me personally, believing that phrase set me up to not really believe that a good time can be a good time, that a good season could not be a good season. You know what I'm saying? And so God is just telling me, like, hey, I know you know how to take the crooked, sis, but what about taking the straights? Like, I know you know how to lose, but what about winning? Like Fantasia, one of my favorite songs by her, you got to lose to win. But if you're so stuck on losing, how are you going to enjoy the win? Like, when God finally sends your winning moment, how can you enjoy the fact that you're winning if you're so stuck on the fact that you always lose? And so it's been a thing where God's been like, Brittney, celebrate the small wins. Celebrate yourself every single day. Because there was a time where I just didn't know how to do that. I would write and publish an entire book, and I would never celebrate the fact that God had placed a word inside of me to share. I never celebrated the fact that He gave me the gift of writing. I never celebrated the fact that He gave me the patience to write a complete book. I never celebrated the fact that He gave me the courage to publish it. I never celebrated the fact that He gave me courage to share it with others. I never celebrated any of that. You know why I didn't celebrate all those moments? Because I was somewhere disappointed about one person who didn't congratulate me. I was upset about one person who didn't support me, who I felt should have. Upset. You know, during a good season, a good moment of my life, I was spending it having this crooked moment, trying to just, you know what I'm saying? Like, and God is just like, hey, I've really done this thing. I've really done the thing that we've been talking about. Like, sure, the full vision, you don't see it yet. But if you don't act like we headed there and celebrate what I'm doing right now. And so that's my thing with you guys. I'm just wondering, like, are y'all like me? Because, you know, just to be, some people, this is easy for them. Like, when you're in a winter season, it's easy. But for some of us, it's just like, we've been disappointed so much. It's just like, I don't really know how to settle in the fact that things are well. You know? That's been a thing for me. And it's something like, I'm like, just transparently speaking, like, it's a thing that I'm currently praying about. Like, Brittney, calm down. Stop expecting the worst to happen. Everything is going to be good. Everything is already good, you know? And so I was just thinking about how important it is to have a leader, or to have leaders who will tell you the truth, you know? And for a season, my pastors, they talked about, like, the pullback season. Like, God is pulling you back to launch you forward. And I think I got so stuck in the pullback season that I really didn't believe that He could launch me forward. I really didn't believe that, you know, I was stuck in the pullback season. And then there was a season where every time somebody prayed over me, all they were telling me, Brittney, surrender, Brittney, surrender, Brittney, surrender. And I'm like, look, I ain't got nothing else to surrender, y'all now. Now you're clowning. But it was just like, just in different seasons, like, I could just remember, like, coping with the hard words, coping with the fact that, Brittney, you're not ready. Brittney, it's not your time. Brittney, just like, I remember coping with that and just saying, okay, I can deal with that. And so now God is saying, Brittney, your pastor been talking about overflow and expect the unexpected and unpredictable blessings. Don't act like that word ain't true. The same way you believe that, yeah, it was the pullback, or yeah, like the same way you believed in the suffering, or the same way you felt like, okay, yes, I know how to suffer. Know how to win. You know what I'm saying? That's what God is just saying, like, and I really hope this makes sense, but know how to win. Know how to win. Know how, like, this is your winning season, like, for real. And it's not just a song. And I believe that I'm talking to a group of people who have entered their winning season. But if you don't acknowledge it to be your winning season, and if your mind is still stuck in the losing season, then you're not going to enjoy the fact that God has shifted you from a place of suffering to reigning with Him. You know what I'm saying? You will understand that you have been shifted. You will understand that you're at the point of after you're suffering. You won't understand that you're not in the place of taking the crookeds. You're in the place of taking the straights. So my hope, my prayer, my desire is that we will truly recognize that the good season God has placed us in, He has placed us in it because He knows what He's doing. And because we have suffered a little while. And because we have taken the crookeds. So now we can take the straights. Because we have suffered with Him, now we can reign with Him. And just believe that that's what it is. You know? Man, that's all I got today, guys. So I hope it sit well with you guys. Or I hope it makes sense to y'all. But that's what God is just saying. Hey, win. It's okay. It's okay to be blessed. Don't apologize for it. Don't let anybody tell you that it's a bad thing that things are finally working out for you. Don't do it. Don't allow it. Be happy where you are. Be happy where God has you. Because you have literally been shifted from that bad place to where you are now. And it's okay. You've put skin in the game. So anyway, that's all I got, guys. If you have not followed me on Instagram, go ahead and do that now at B.REEL. If you put REAL, you're not going to find me there. So go ahead and follow me on Instagram, and I will keep you current on what is going on and all that good stuff. So in the meantime, man, just know that you are loved, you are chosen, you're enough, you're beautiful, and God is doing everything that He has promised He's going to do. That's what it is. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Bye.